ミングと書かれております。それはもうまごうことなくデカデカと。いかがなされましたか？
Fireball and protagonist Fireball and its main character Drossel, they've been popping out constantly on my TikTok For You page lately, and I just had to find out more. I mean, the moment I saw a clip, I stopped and I thought, wait, Disney? Like actual Disney? And then I thought, hold on, why is this only in Japanese? I mean, sure, a few clips were in English, but it was mostly Japanese. After I saw the clip, I just started digging, because honestly it felt weirdly familiar to me, like I had seen it before, somehow. Anyway, these clips kept showing up, and maybe that's why you're here too. Maybe you looked it up yourself, or maybe you already know what it is. We are talking about Fireball, as I said before. This super strange series that somehow is part of Disney, and it has these, I'm gonna say the magic words, Flügel aero mixed up with Y2K aesthetic. Honestly, it looks amazing. Nobody really seems to be talking about it, in detail at least. So I decided to make a video about it, and today we are going to break down everything we know about Fireball, where it came from, what it's about, and what even is that. Alright, let's start with what I found about the origins of the series. So back in 2008, Disney Japanese branch collaborated with the Genius Animation Studios to produce Fireball, a series of CGI anime shorts, and the show features Drossel von Flügel, it's so difficult to say, and it's a robotic duchess. However, is a robotic duchess and her servant, Gedächtnis. That's so freaking difficult to say. Gedächtnis. However, as was said before, the show features this Drossel and her servant engaging in whimsical conversations amidst a futuristic war settings, and all the episodes are around 2 minutes each. Drossel is a fascinating character, designed with the mind of a 14-year-old girl. Gedächtnis, on the other hand, has the mindset of a 50-year-old man, serving as a guardian and the voice of reason. Their interactions are filled with humor, misunderstandings, and occasional deep reflections on existence, and that's so cool. Fireball was created in 2008 by Disney Japan as a part of an effort to produce original content specifically for the Japanese market, instead of adapting Western shows. And they wanted to experiment with something local, using a unique 3D animation style and Japanese-style humor. It was only released in Japan because it was designed for a niche domestic audience, and Disney didn't think it would appeal to international viewers at the time, at least. Despite its unique charm, Fireball remained largely unknown outside Japan, also because it aired exclusively on Disney Channel Japan, with no official English dub until 2022, but I'm going to talk about the English dub later, okay? Also, recently, Fireball has experienced a resurgence in popularity thanks to platforms like TikTok and YouTube, especially TikTok in these last days. Also because, like a lot of Redditors say, it's a tick robot. So people like the clips, also because they are funny and cool. I mean, it's cool, it's funny. Of course it's making a lot of views, right? But why now? Why now? I know maybe why. I'm going to tell you later. I found out you can actually watch the entire series both in the original Japanese and English dub, because yes, apparently Fireball was officially dubbed into English, and it was premiered on Disney Plus Japan on 2022. That's why I think a lot of people are talking about it only in 2022, from 2022, and maybe it just exploded on TikTok lately. However, only Disney Plus Japan, for some reasons, released the full English dubbed version of every season. You can find every single episode of all the season on the Internet Archive. It's all there, dubbed or subbed. I'll leave you a link in the description if you want to check it out. It's been 2 years since people first started talking about it online, and suddenly the algorithm has picked it up, just now. Let me tell you a bit about what I saw when I watched the first season of Fireball last night. First of all, there are a lot of funny sketches and weird little moments, of course. But some things really stood out to me. For example, the big librarian robot. He seems to have this infinite void inside him, and he pulls out literally anything from it. Like sometimes butterflies, sometimes thousands of books, everything from the inside of him. Also, obviously, there are a lot of theories about what's actually happening in this world. They mention humanity, and they talk about the future, and sometimes it sounds like humanity went extinct thousands of years ago. Other times it feels like the humans are still out there, actively bombing the tower, and it's all super mysterious. And honestly, I don't think the point of the series was to give the universe a clear explanation. It makes your mind work just by listening and watching the background, which is almost not existent. But there are definitely a lot of tiny details, little clues that you could dig into if you want to. One thing I found really funny while watching the episodes is that Drossel never calls her robot butler by his actual name. His real name is Gedächtnis, okay? But every single episode she calls him something completely random. For example, sometimes it's Barcelona, or sometimes noodles, sometimes even a burger. And just totally random names. And at the end of each episode, there is this little text screen explaining the name she just used. Like if she called him Barcelona, the screen would say Barcelona was a major city and capital of a country where people once spoke Spanish. And it's almost like the show is trying to explain human culture to someone in the far future who knows nothing about it. Like if you were one of them, like if you were Drossel yourself. And honestly, it's such a cool detail. It gives you this subtle world building without ever breaking the tone. So I think the first season is maybe the best one, together with the second season, which is Fireball Charming. But I prefer the first season. It's more iconic for me. Also, I prefer the design of Drossel in the first season. However, watching this entire season, the first season, I realized that even though this anime came out back in 2008, it feels super current. Each episode is only about 2 minutes long, which is basically the perfect format for today's short-form content. It fits right into the world of TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts. It's like Fireball was made for vertical video culture before that even existed. It feels like something that was created today and accidentally released in the past. And maybe that's why it didn't really catch on back in 2008, because it was way too ahead of its time. Even the humor feels modern. Then I moved on to the second season, Fireball Charming, which honestly seems to be the most popular of the 4 seasons. It's not a sequel though, it's actually a prequel to the first season, which I thought was a pretty interesting choice. This time everything looks different. The characters, the settings, everything has been redesigned. Drossel gets a brand new look, for example, with different hair accessories in some episodes. And the background, well, it's not just an empty white room anymore. Now it looks like a giant cathedral. It has this futuristic evangelical vibe to it. And unlike the first season where you are stuck in one room the whole time, here you actually get to see different parts of the tower, and it's still minimal, but it feels bigger, more open. I found really interesting how they use these old religious aesthetics. It kinda reminds me of Devil May Cry 4, that kind of futuristic religious aesthetic. It was also stylized in a way that made it feel so modern and futuristic at the same time. It was a cool contrast. Oh, hey, before keep going, real quick guys, please go follow me on Twitch. I know, seriously, everything that you see in my videos, everything, I do exactly that kind of stuff in live on Twitch. Digging into weird hidden shows, obscure games, all the strange things you love, I'll do that on live. I mean, I will do that on live. In these days, I will go live this week. And you can see here the time I will go live, usually the hours. And also, follow me on Twitter. Link is in description, as always. And right now, literally no one follows me. So please, go follow me on Twitter. And go follow me on Twitter and write something funny with my name. I don't know how that even works. I don't know. So, as I said before, there are 4 main seasons, and there are something to say about them. The first, which is just Fireball, released in 2008. Then there was a special episode released in 2009. Then there is the second season, released in 2011, called Fireball Charming. And then there is the third season, released in 2017, called Fireball Humorous. Fireball Humorous only has 3 episodes, and the fan have some theories about this, because maybe they think a lot of episodes were deleted or cancelled. Anyway, the last season came out in 2020, and it is called Fireball Gebaud. I don't know how to say that. And there are also some special episodes called Making Off, where they show you where they show you a funny way behind the scenes of the first season, and that was really cool. First and second season. Of course, I watched almost all of them. I watched the first 3 seasons. I didn't watch the 4th one. I started watching the 4th one, but I stopped. Fun theories. The original Fireball from 2008. People online have come up with all kinds of theories about what actually is going on in the world. And some fans believe that the war between robots and humans is real and happening just outside the Tempest Tower. Others think it's just an ancient story, and Drossel and Gedächtnis are just relics stuck in a forgotten loop. And also, Drossel's personality is another big topic. She seems silly and over-dramatic, but sometimes she shows these weirdly deep moments of reflection. Some people think she is actually a tragic character, 14-year-old mind in a robotic body, locked away and slowly realizing she might be the last of her kind. Something like that. I mean, classic theories. Okay. Then on Fireball Charming, since Fireball Charming is a prequel to the first season, it shows a younger Drossel. So fans believe this version of her is way more robotic and less self-aware. Then there is the Fireball Humorous. So this one has only 3 episodes, but there's the thing. The episodes are numbered 4, 7 and 11, which is weird. Some people think that means that there are lost episodes, like maybe there were more episodes planned but never released. Others think it's just a joke or a stylistic choice meant to mess with you. Then there is the last season. Fans say the last season is weird, even for Fireball. The ending is super ambiguous. I didn't saw that. Some people think it's a dream or maybe a simulation. Others think it's the end of a time loop or the start of another. So I will probably watch the end meanwhile I'm editing the video. So probably I will show you something. There is this theory also that Drossel is stuck in some kind of eternal cycle, and repeating the same roles in different form across each seasons, never really escaping the tower. Also, there are character-based theories. For example, Drossel von Flügel. Her full name is Drossel Juno Virzentis Heisergister Fürstin von Flügel. It's all German. Some people think her name reflects her entire creation lineage, like she is the 14th model in a long time of royal machines built for a specific lore in the society. Also, Drossel actually changed form throughout the series. Juno 12 in Fireball Charming, Juno 14 in the original Fireball, Castalia 9 in Fireball Humorous, which is a different name. So there is also a scene where you can actually see the father that they talk about in almost all of the series. They talk about the father, the great father, and you can actually see in a scene the father, but it's really short, and I don't think that is really the real father they're talking about. By the way, Gedächtnis literally means memory in German. That's why he kept all the books of the memories of the humankind, which is not really the humankind story, is more like the history of the Flügel family. Maybe his true purpose is way deeper than just being a sarcastic butler. Well, this was everything for today, guys. I'll wait you on Twitch and Twitter. I hope you liked this video, and see you next time.